Welcome to the Empower Me Show with Pam Bright. This show is all about honoring you as a spiritual being having a human experience. You are here for a reason, and it's no mistake that you are here on earth right now. Spirit has guided you to this very moment in time, so you could hear the messages Pam is about to share with you. She is a multi-dimensional healer, light language channel, transformation coach, wife and mother, committed to helping you discover the tools and practices to empower you to live the best life you can. You get to choose the spirit path you take. You can connect to the spiritual guidance already all around you. Get ready to live a fully empowered life. This is the Empower Me Show.
To the Empower Me Show. I am Pam Bright. I am here for you today, and I'm here with my dear new friend, Christine. Right? Kristen. Kristen. Okay.
It's okay.
So that you know, folks, I live a lot in the other dimensions, and coming back to this body is a challenge for me at times. And so I mix words quite a bit in my life, and there's no excuse for that. It just simply is what is. So I have mixed words with this beautiful being several times. Is it Christine? Is it Kristen? Is it Christian? Which is it? And so she always has to correct me. And here we are again. So for the listeners, why don't you actually say what your full name is and what the name of your business is so that they hear it from you?
Yeah. So relatable. And at this point, I'm just like, call me, I'll respond to whatever because everybody's got, different languages and pronunciations and whatever. But my name is actually pronounced Kristen. I'm Kristen Jones. I'm a spiritual business coach for healers and soulpreneurs and intuitive quantum healer. So part of my soul mission is to really support healers, light workers, and spiritual beings in liberating themselves, stripping away the layers that no longer serving them and unshackling them from this lifetime and lifetimes before so they can liberate themselves and step into their power.
Ooh, I love that. We're doing a lot of that on the planet now, folks.
Yes.
Those of you who have been with me since I began this show in 2021 have heard me talk about, we're in this amazing time in history right now, have been since 2020, of really an opening to the systems breaking down and new ones being built, karmic accumulated debris, if you will, from lifetimes showing themselves, asking ourselves questions like, who am I and what am I here to do? Those kinds of things are in reality happening in the world. And so here we are to really illuminate, kind of open the doors to possibility for you. So as you're listening to this and watching this presentation, what is it in you that wants to be explored today? What is it in you that makes you question your reality, your existence, your business, your future, your relationships, why you keep having the same dreams over and over and over again? Why do you keep having the same habits that you really don't want anymore, but you can't seem to quit? All of those kinds of questions tend to show up in a space like this. Because this is the space of transformation. This is the space of the embodiment of who you are as a spiritual being having a human experience. Mm-hmm. And as I, your host, support you in your own empowerment and in your own opening to who you really are, more of those questions are going to come up. I promise you, the more I ask myself that question, the more questions I have. And the more I don't have answers yet, because I'm delving deeper into my psyche, into those places that I have put aside, those places that I have questioned, those places that I've been afraid to even look at. And all of that seems to tend to come into this time of the week during the Empower Me show.
Yeah.
So welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
And usually in the beginning of the show, I do a little grounding, a little connecting, really getting us centered into who we are and open to what wants to show up in the space. So do you have a meditation or a process that you use to open that door of possibility for yourself and your clients that you would like to share with us today?
Yeah, as you were speaking, my clairaudient, my clairvoyance channels are really strong and like heightening. And so I got this visual of an onion, which is hilarious. I'm like, haha, we're literally like going through all of this process. We're like peeling back the layers, just like you would peel back an onion. And like you are still there. It's still you. You're just discovering more and more as you peel back more and more. So yes, I love that. And as far as like how I tap into like before podcasts, or like client sessions or anything of that nature, 100% transparency. I am a mom. I am a military wife. I am a fur mom. So sometimes I'm just like, hey, spirit team, you got my 6, and like just sliding in and being like, cool, I'm here. I'm grounded. I'm fully present with my clients and what it is that I'm doing. And other times, if I'm like, okay, I have this space, like today I had some space. I was like, okay, feet on the earth, opening up my crown chakra, allowing light to also come into my third eye and connecting with my spirit guides and saying, hey, whatever is meant to come through today, allow it to come through for the highest and best good. Also, I really feel like sometimes we overcomplicate our spiritual journeys or our connections with our spirit teams. Like they just want, like I feel for mine specifically, like we're friends, like I respect them and they support me and they want to support me, but there's never a closed off situation where like, no, not today. It's just I'm here, I'm connected, and like guide me, support me in any way that is for the highest and best good of anyone that's involved.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that, because one of the things that I work with is opening people to their own spirit teams and doing a process where we actually create that together, as client to practitioner, if you will, or conduit. I like to call myself a conduit because I don't necessarily, well, I have some knowledge that I've accumulated, but really I'm a channel
Yeah.
of anything else. And so I allow spirit source guidance to come through me to help you, the client, to open to who are the beings that want to work with you. Who are they? Give yourself a visual, give yourself an auditory response, give yourself a message, right? Let them start speaking with you so that you can then open to their guidance. Because once we do that, that brings it conscious.
Yeah.
If it's unconscious, then they're just going to watch you.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're going to watch you and hang out. And we have a little message here. Oh, Bobby. Okay, Bobby. Hold on a minute, Bobby. We're going to do a grounding and then we'll talk to you. Okay. Mm-hmm. Bobby is one of my longtime clients. Thank you, Bobby, for calling in. So I'm going to do a grounding for us. I'm going to bring some light language in. I'm going to ask Spirit to guide us. And then we're going to just open the phone line so that Bobby can have a conversation with you about whatever's up for him. Okay?
Sounds great.
All right. So creator of all that is, the one who lives and breathes within all things, we thank you for this day. We thank you for our lives. And we thank you that we are able in this very moment to remember our choice, our choice on a soul level to come into human form. We honor that. We acknowledge that. We thank our spirits for saying yes, our soul bodies for saying yes to this human experience. And now we ask that the light beings that work with Pam directly and also with the Empower Me show bring it on into this moment. Anything that is here for us to receive. Ana se tada ye udana ye tu. Anda se daba ye kutada ye ki. Ana se na inana ye. Ana ye hi. Na ye hi. Ana sana ye kia. Ana ke ia. Ana ke ia. Eu, ei. We thank the great central sun for illuminating yourself to us in this transmission. We open this portal to go right in the middle of for our own evolvement, our own ascension, our own opening to what's next for us as soul. We also thank the Earth Mother, Gaia, for helping us to embody all of who we are in this moment. And we release anything that's in the way that might be a distraction to our soul purpose. We release anything that might be an imprint of any sort that is continually running that we may not know about. We ask all of the beings that are within the earth, as well as surrounding the earth, to now allow us to receive you. Adasa te tata te tu ambaba ia. No ke tamade ki ada. Eumba, 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 emaba ipa. De kumbaba yeki ada. Eu, pana. O nana ye. Oh, and we are back into our bodies, back in this moment. You can open your eyes when you're ready, and definitely have some water for yourself, because that's going to help keep those electrolytes in the body and keep the energy moving as we move forward from here. And Bobby, if you're still on the line, we would love to talk to you and have you get some acknowledgement and some forward movement for yourself in this time that we have together.
All right, Bobby, you are on the air. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Thank you. Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. So you are here. You are here. You have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted basically a light language blessing for. I got two things coming up. I've got this forum, the landmark forum that I'm doing this weekend, and I've got on Wednesday I'm going to have a tooth pulled where they're going to put me to sleep, and I've never been under anesthesia before, so I'm kind of, I know Ariel's going to be with me. My spirit team will be with me. You'll be asleep when it happens, but your spirit will be there. I know there might be some people who aren't familiar with that concept, but you're good at explaining stuff like that. So just kind of a light language blessing to kind of get rid of those fears and get me ready for what's coming up for me this weekend and for on Wednesday.
Okay, so I will definitely do that. And you actually are here with my special guest who would love to also give you a message, give you some assistance in maybe the quantum field of energy that we exist in, or anything. Actually, because you're clairaudient and clairsentient and clairvoyant and all of the clairs, you can also introduce yourself to Bobby and let him know who you are, and then whatever information there is for him to move
Yeah.
forward from here.
Yeah. Hi, Bobby. Thanks for sharing. It's nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hi.
And what is your name?
My name is Kristen Jones.
All right.
Yes. So I'm a
Okay.
spiritual, it's nice to meet you. So I'm a spiritual business coach for healers. And what I really love to do is combine like the quantum field and the energetics as a quantum healer. And also the kind of like the subconscious side as well. So we've got like the as above, as below energy working with us. And so, of course, we'll definitely send you some healing and some beautiful support in the quantum field and the energetics. And, something to really look at too is like, where are these fears coming from? And why are you feeling this way? And coming into like your heart center and allowing yourself this opportunity to be seen within yourself as well. And acknowledging the safety within yourself and the expertise of the beautiful hands that you will be in while you are under as well. If you love journaling, this is a really great journaling exercise, or even just some like contemplation and meditation. This would be really beautiful to go in as well, if that feels supportive for you.
Like I could see myself sitting on Ariel's lap and she's holding me as they're doing their thing, and then she's with me when I wake up and everything's cool. I go home and I'm all good. Like,
yeah. Yes, exactly. It's beautiful. And that beautiful reminder that you are supported, you are safe, and it is all good. And I love that trifecta right there feels so beautiful.
So something that's coming up for me, Kristen, is that you also work with past lives, correct?
Yes.
And being able to tap into that. So something, because I know Bobby so well, and there's many things that I'm learning about him, that there's a lot of excess, a lot of stuff that he came in with that are still running. We've been doing a lot of work together on releasing fear. And there's a lot of judgment and a lot of fears that still exist that I suspect is more karmic than anything else. Can you sense anything about that for him that you can relay so that he understands it, can work with it?
I feel that sometimes when it comes to past life healing, that we give our power away to the fact that it is in a past life and that it does so deeply affect us in this life. And that's not to dismiss like what we're going through, because that is valid. It's a lot of the past life healing work can be done when we work on that inner child and the inner teen. Sometimes we get so focused on the inner child, we forget that the teen years do shape us into who we are. And what I love about past life healing, as well as this beautiful acknowledgement of we are a high vibrating soul having a human experience. And so anything that we clear, our soul takes with us. So is there, without knowing like anything specifically, but starting with or continuing with that inner child healing and looking at, okay, this fear is coming up as an adult. This feels kind of strange, but it does feel really scary. Where is this actually coming from? And asking yourself that multiple times so you can really pinpoint those areas of like, okay, let's start with this one situation and clear, free and clear. And then allow yourself to, like that onion that I was talking, that's coming up again. So like that onion, just continue to peel back that one fear at a time and allow yourself that liberation. I feel like the pinpoint is to remind yourself also that, oh, poof, it just went gone. So maybe I wasn't meant to say that. Yep, it did. It just left. But stacking the proof. of I freed and cleared this. Oh, that feels good. I feel safe. And then allowing yourself in this lifetime, in this physical body, this is where we get to allow ourselves this 3D opportunity as well to be like, okay, I am safe. I remember that I'm safe and that you are here now and that you have liberated yourself.
Okay, cool.
Do you have any questions about what you just heard?
So basically just kind of, examine the fear, like, where's this fear coming from? Maybe ask my guides where it's coming from, and then realize that I'm here now. I'm safe with my guides. I'm safe with Ariel, and that it's going to be okay somehow, some way.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yes, that's perfect.
So the other thing that you're going to find, Bobby, is that yes, absolutely, I am a huge proponent of allowing our guides to guide us, and there's a deepening that gets to happen if you allow it to, of, okay, I'm going to ask my guides to show me where that fear starts from.
Yeah.
Show me where it is. Illuminate in my psyche where this started from. Okay. And you can do that with anything that's happening in your life. Okay. And this is where we get to take our power back that we've given away. We've siphoned it away to another, like something else other than ourselves. Okay. Now's the time when we get to, all of us, not only you, Bobby, not only me, not only Kristen, but all of you who are listening to this broadcast, where we get to say, you know what? I matter. I am a person that's ready to hold the power that is God-given to me right now, because I can handle it. I can handle that power, and I don't do it alone. You don't do it alone. We actually are co-creating it together. So this is the way that it is. We are hand in hand with the creator of all that is.
I had my hands exactly like that.
Yay!
I was sitting here just like that.
Awesome. So any last words for Bobby before I give him a little light language to send him on his way?
Yeah.
Oh, before that, Pam, could you send me her email address later after the program? Would you be able to do that for me?
Of course.
I appreciate it.
Yep. You bet.
I think when it comes to fear, it's this beautiful reminder of I have survived every single day since when that fear actually was ingrained, whether it was a past life or, a past life that has happened in this lifetime as well, or an inner child, healing that needs to happen. And I have survived every single day. This did happen. It is not happening, but I have survived. I am a survivor. And yes, and taking your power back and understanding that you do hold so much power within.
Absolutely. Well, and Bobby, we'll talk a little bit more before your forum tomorrow, because I just got something pretty big that I want to share with you. And we don't need to take up the time here on this broadcast, but
right.
Know that you probably, I'm pretty sure, came in with this fear, these fears, and we have the ability to release it. It gets to go bye-bye, and you get to have a new experience. So we're going to bring in the light beings now to assist you on your way and really assist you with what's next, and know that it's perfect in every way possible right now. Anasatate undaye wadaye supupuye. Anazanaye kuala jejeza. Enu zaraba itu mama de kichina maya tumbubu. Anazena zanayeya. Eya, eya, eya. Anazetena ikamaya wawa. Eunenaya. All right, so we just sent that to the dentist as well, and all of the people that work with him to assist you next week. You're creating a foundation for your life from here forward. And every action step that you take is assisting you in creating a future of your own making. Sana sana kia tara itana makia una mamate na managise na naiche na ma unta sana ma o te sana makia unta maiesa maiesa maiesa. Be well, sweetie. Thanks for calling in, honey. You're going to be great.
Take care.
All right.
Okay,
You
bye-bye.
too.
All right, bye-bye, hon. All right, so there you go, folks. There's a little example of some of the things that we do on the show. Depending on who comes on, we allow ourselves to be the conduits for the people that show up. And if it's you and you are waiting to be recognized and be seen and be known, then now's your time. You can call in 1-800-930-2819. You can also chat in the chat line at Transformation Talk Radio, and we will get your question brought to us so that we can answer it. If you need some healing, we can do that as well. And we're just here for the next, wow, it's already 12:30. So it goes fast. We have another 30 minutes to go, give or take, and we're here for you. So tell people about, so you are a spiritual business coach. How did that start? Where did that background kind of open the door for you to be able to do this kind of work?
That's a great question. And as he was on, I was also sending some quantum healing, and my cat wants to sit on my lap. And she always comes midnight. She always comes around when there's healing work done. Don't you?
Hello, sweetie.
Yes. So
Hey.
She's so sweet. So I actually, it's interesting because, when you look back at your journey and reflect on all the people you've met or all the experiences that you've had, you understand it was all just a stepping stone to exactly where you are right now. You are always exactly where you're meant to be. And sometimes in the mud or sometimes just in the everyday life, it's not obvious. So there were several situations when I was younger that happened as far as being interested in spirituality and like witches and things like that, and like the history of witches and what they believe in and the things that they do and etc. And I always used to hide that stuff under the bed. I would never come out and say it. I was really scared. But when I took a turn in my business, as far as being a spiritual business coach, I had actually been in the health and fitness industry where I was combining health, fitness, and life coaching all together. And when we moved to the location that we are now, after being about 13 months away from my husband, he was stationed overseas. I was just launched into this huge spiritual awakening. I was really struggling with stress, anxiety, was depressed. And I just remember sitting on the floor one day when my kids had just gone to school, just sobbing. I'm like, there's got to be another way. I don't love how I feel. I feel constantly weighed down and bogged down. I was burnout after burnout after burnout. I wasn't feeling like I was really making the impact that I knew I was here to make. And so I just stepped back from everything. I was kind of doing a little bit of stuff behind the scenes, but I was like, I've got to figure this out. And at that time, Reiki started showing up for me. And I wasn't super familiar with it. Like I had heard it in passing, but I was like, oh, cool. And then it started showing up online. And then I heard it in passing in public one day. And I was like, okay. And then one day, one of my friends from our old duty station messaged me and she was like, hey, I just became an angelic healer. And I was like, okay, tell me more, sister.
I love it.
Because I am curious. And after that, I started just really getting consistent with journaling and meditating and playing with oracle cards and surrounding myself with like-minded people who are also on their path. And getting certified in multiple styles of healing, NLP, rapid resolution therapy is my most recent, and incorporating all of this stuff. And so once I was like, okay, feet on the ground, I understand my path of what this can look like, and I just want to start taking steps. I decided I was going to continue to do coaching, but it was going to be with a spiritual twist. And so I started doing spiritual life coaching and have evolved into like mindset, subconscious reprogramming, and that spiritual, like that spiritual coaching, soulful strategy, and things like that to really support healers. I think the biggest turn for what it is that I do and where I am now was about 2 years ago. I had an Akashic Records reading, and she was like, you're the healer's healer. And I was like, what does that mean? And she's like, that's what I'm getting. You have to figure it out. And I'm like, okay, well, thanks a lot, spirit team. Like, that's not very helpful. But what I realized was all the people that I had helped with my individual sessions, as far as like quantum healing and oracle card readings, as well as spiritual coaching, I work with mostly women, some men, but they were all hidden healers. They're all sitting in this like healer closet, like I'm afraid to come out. And I was like, I've actually been doing this all along. And so I just started to own it and started to really step into that space and empower them to continue on their journey, whatever it looked like for them, whether it was like really owning their spirituality and stripping away those layers so they are no longer feeling that anxiety, stress, overwhelm, things that are weighing them down, or enabling them the opportunity to liberate themselves so they can step more in their power and their business and really make the impact they know that they're here to make. So yeah, it's crazy just how one stepping stone leads to another, and allowing myself the opportunity to evolve and have that evolution of self.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. So it occurred to me as you were talking, that there are probably many of you that listen to not only my show, but other shows on Transformation Talk Radio, on the Transformation Network, and also other people that are in this world of healing and leadership and voiceover work and all these different gifts that we're coming into now. And it occurs to me that there's someone out there that's like, well, how do you know it works?
Yeah.
Because that question just came in. And I know for myself that it's come in. Like, it especially started when I was doing Reiki. I started with Reiki and I was like, I don't get this at all. Okay, so I'm supposed to be doing these these symbols, and my hands are supposed to get, some feeling, and I did notice that they heated up, right, which was what was supposed to happen, but I didn't understand that there was anything that was really happening.
Yeah.
At all. And so then I started with light language, and it was this amazing energy that was going through me. But again, I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I have this gift, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. I don't know how I'm supposed to use it. I don't even know if it makes any sense to anybody else. It doesn't even make sense to me. So what am I supposed to do now? So someone like that's hearing that from me, that's in that position, what would you say to them to acknowledge them, to help them, to assist them in the next step?
Yeah. it's interesting because a few things were coming through. First, that is what I help with healers in the containers that I have, that they want to make it a business with, like, how do I even use this? Like, what does this even look like? And I think that I feel like we almost all have that question, like, does this actually work? There's that imposter syndrome creeping in. Who am I to do this? Or will this ever work? Or will anybody even believe that I can do this thing? Or, whether it's Reiki or channeling, or like, I'll see symbols and like hear things. I'm like, I don't even know what this means. Here you go. I don't know.
Yep.
And so what I would say to someone who is thinking, I really want to do something with this, is get that clarity piece for yourself. Journal out, what are your gifts and your abilities that you are noticing you have? What are you currently certified? I don't believe you need a certification to start a business. I believe that your soul gifts are innate, and if you can do it, you can do it. No certification is going to be able to tell you that you can. So write down the things that you are trained in, if you are. And then what are your gifts and abilities? Are you noticing that you are channeling, or you talk to spirit, or you see spirit, or that you're able to relay gifts from loved ones to people? Or, maybe you have an innate ability for tarot, or whatever that is. Like, write it down. I'm just giving ideas to kind of hopefully spark some creativity, or some like, oh yeah, I do that thing, right? So write all of those down. And I'm seeing a pendulum, so maybe this will resonate with someone. If you have a pendulum, you utilize a pendulum to get clear on, is this a yes or a no? You can meditate on each one and see, like, does this feel like something I really desire to do right now? Is this something I really want to get out into the world? And those are like the first couple pieces that I would say, those are your starting points. And then from there, it's really that where we get into like business side, which if you message me, I do have a free like launch your healing business guide that is supportive in those next steps of creativity, of creating aligned prices, getting clear on your soulmate client, creating really great content that helps you stand out and delivers your message to the world.
And those are things that people can find on your website, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
I'm most active on Instagram, so they can message me. It's in the link in my bio too. But yes, they're absolutely on my website under the free resources.
Beautiful. Okay. Yeah. And the name of your business is And She Rises, correct?
Yep.
Okay,
andsherises.com.
Perfect. All right. So great. So that's awesome. So we were going to talk about your experience with the witch wound. Mm-hmm. and what is that, first of all, and then what do we do with that information, and how do you help people?
Yeah. So the witch wound shows up, and I tend to see this a lot in healers when it comes to like showing up and sharing our gifts with the world. So first of all, what is a witch wound? A witch wound is trauma that has been passed down either through your ancestors, or the pain of the past life where you were persecuted from. And as I say that, my black cat jumps on my lap. But where you were persecuted in another life for what is perceived, or what people perceive as being a witch. What did that look like then? It looked like you having these innate gifts and abilities, whether it was, interest in cards, or, healing abilities such as the Reiki, the energy work. Maybe it was a midwife, or like a doula or something like that, where sometimes it was even just, you making a lot of money, or you are, you're perceived as really beautiful, and they're like, you are a witch, right? And so it is a soul knowing. It's deeply ingrained at a soul level, and it shows up in this lifetime. So some of the ways that it shows up is this fear of being seen and heard is one of the most common ones that I witness within my my clients or my community. where it's like, if I show up and I share this gift with the world, I might actually die. Like, it feels like such a deep fear that it's like, there's just no way I can share this, because what will people say? What will they think? Will I be pushed out of the quote coven? Will I not be accepted? And
Mhm.
so that's one of those.
Something I wanted to let people know is that this is not just for females.
No.
I have a dear mentor who is a witch. He's been a witch for generations, and he has witches in his ancestry. So and he's a beautiful male that is carrying on the tradition, and he's had to work with all of what Christine is talking about too. So
Yes.
I just wanted to put that in there, that if you are not female and you are equating witch to female, let's change that identity and know that you could be carrying that wound as well.
Yes, absolutely. And I also think it's important to mention as well that men can struggle in this lifetime as well, even if they don't identify with having the witch wound, but rather they were a significant other, or like a lover, or a friend, cousin, parent, father of someone who was persecuted as a witch. That fear of not being able to keep their loved ones safe, that fear of losing someone. And so that's a very real fear as well. Other ways that this shows up is that imposter syndrome that I mentioned, where it literally stops you in your track. Like, who am I to show up and share this ability? Will anyone even believe that I can do this? It's also this not showing up in your authenticity, where it's almost like you have one foot in and one foot out, where you're being someone else behind the scenes, but who you show up as in the world is not that same person. And it's like, not just well, I'm just not going to do it because I've just like have no one to share it with or whatever. It's I'm not actually going to share any of this with anyone because I'm afraid of what they might think or say. One of the biggest ones that I feel is very untalked about is this fear, or this sisterhood wound, where it's this cattiness between women and this this lack of trust. And what I see it sometimes showing up in this lifetime is, well, women are just catty and dramatic, so I would rather just hang out with men because they're more chill and less serious. And we discover like this lack of connection between women, which is a big sisterhood wound, because when we look at like the witch hunts, women were pushed against each other to save themselves. Mothers, sisters, cousins, friends, people of the coven were just turned the other eye as someone else was being persecuted so they could save themselves. And so that shows up big time in this lifetime. And it does affect our life. It does affect, if you have a healing business, having these witch wounds or other witch wounds. Once we begin to heal those, abundance and like more doors start to open up when you clear those fears.
I see. So for someone that is not in a position to necessarily get one-on-one coaching with you about this, what's something that they can take away from this information from you right now that they can start looking at that possibility for themselves?
Yeah. So if you go to my website, I do have a free Healing the Witch Wound guide, and it's got the top 5 witch wounds that I see based on my experience of working with healers over the years, and tips, like small steps to take to really start to heal those. And then as far as like, even further, I do have a Healing the Witch Wound masterclass that dives into it even deeper. It's only $11. And it has like a past life regression. It's got some really beautiful journaling prompts. And then as far as like tangible steps that you can take right now is really just allowing yourself the opportunity to be like, that does resonate. actually, that does make sense to me right now. And so, hi. Every time she jumps up
She
here, I'm
wants to
like,
give a
yes,
message. See, that's the thing. She wants to give a message to us.
Yes, ma'am. Hi. She's so sweet. So, and she's very persistent. Tangible steps that you can take right now. So the acknowledgement and the awareness, this does resonate. And it goes back to that inner child healing and where that fear did originate from. Because as we liberate ourselves in this lifetime, we liberate ourselves from lifetimes before.
I love that so much. I love that. I love that.
We're so powerful. We just don't give ourselves enough credit. I'm just like, I need you to see you don't even have to see it for yourself. I see it for you. You are so powerful. So powerful.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I do believe that, and I have seen that happen with my life, is that whenever I have allowed myself to go deeply into a past life, into my pain, into some memories, into even a pattern that I've had over and over and over again, it seems like other areas in my life open up and flow better that I didn't ever expect would happen. Because I was willing. Willingness is the key, folks. Willingness to open yourself to what's next.
Yes.
Okay. So I just saw that we have about 10 minutes left. And let me think about, actually, let me ask. Okay, what I'm hearing is, does Kristen have a message for the collective and possibly a card or a something that she's seeing or something that she's getting collectively that could open up what's next for folks?
Yes, I think my cat wants out, so I'm going to let her out and grab my oracle cards because I just got a visual of the deck that I want to use. Yes, ma'am.
Got it. All right. As she's doing that, folks, I want you to look right here. I'm going to move so that you can see this spiral. This spiral is another way for you to actually go into meditation for yourself anytime that you're working with color, anytime you're working with the patterns. It can actually assist you in spiraling into the center of who you are and allowing yourself to dive deep, because it's not about surface work anymore in the world. We're here to do some heavy duty, deep diving, soul releasing. Our souls have been trapped in this small little container of survival for centuries. So this is the time of history for us to consciously say yes to unlocking what has been hiding out, what is wanting to be released and expressed. So this is the time to do that. And I, as a conduit for you and for the world, am committed to not only assisting you in opening, but really assisting myself, saying yes to my own opening, my own spirituality, my own depth. So I believe that we now have our beautiful card reader back.
Yes. It's when you said, I can't remember the exact words that you said, but I heard, as I was grabbing my deck, I heard, it begins within.
Yes.
And, you know, I just had a card. There's all kinds of cards flying out. It begins within, and when we give ourselves this opportunity to go within, like I said before, we do liberate ourselves from the past. We liberate ourselves from not just this lifetime, but lifetimes before. And that inward, it's like that inward, it feels like that spiral is that inward motion. And so, and it is intention.
Perfect.
Yes, but the first card that came out, so the intention here was, what does the collective need to know right now? And this is timeless. So no, it doesn't matter if you're not listening or watching right here, right now. This is timeless. And I trust that whoever is meant to see and hear this will hear it, and it will resonate exactly as it meant to. I always say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, because not everything will, because it is a collective reading. But the first card that I got, I'm using the Goddess Oracle card deck. I love this. It's by Doreen Virtue. Was the one that I was drawn to. So Sacred Space. And this is a beautiful message to also, like, an invitation to go within as well. And sometimes, like, when we create our sacred space, it gives us this opportunity to, like, actually relax. And this doesn't have to be like a whole entire room. This could be like a dedicated corner or space in your room. This could also be an invitation to create an altar for yourself, whatever it looks like, whether it's, I have an altar for a goddess that I like to work with, that I love working with. But maybe this is just an altar of beautiful crystals or, incense and beautiful items that really resonate with you in your spiritual journey. Something else that I really noticed about this card that was really pointing out is these beautiful colors. It's the chakras, this beautiful alignment from within. And I feel that once you create the sacred space and allow yourself to drop within, you are going to create this alignment. And I just heard the word illumination, which there's candles all over this card. So it's like it's illuminating your path for you. And this focused intention, I love this. And I love this bow and arrow reference as well, because it's like, releasing there's a throat chakra thing going on. So if anybody has, if you're listening and you're like, maybe you're struggling with authenticity or speaking your truth, or maybe there's something you need to say to someone, this is an invitation for that, to do that clearing. So focused intention. So this beautiful, bow and arrow, what I was seeing was like, it's like being pulled back and releasing, keeping your eye on the mark, but releasing what's no longer serving you. And it also says on there to keep your thoughts unwavering. So releasing what's no longer serving you with that bow and arrow, it could literally be just a deep breath and then an exhale. Release the bow and arrow and think the word release, and allow your unconscious mind to do that work for you, or allow your spirit guides to do that work for you. You don't have to do that. They can do the heavy lifting. You just need to ask.
I love that. I love that.
That's good.
So another thing that I want to share, because what I saw is, if you don't have a physical bow and arrow, which not many people do, some people do, but some will go out and actually use it. But if you can imagine that you got the bow and arrow,
yes,
and you're just doing the action,
yes,
imagine a big bullseye in front of you and just let it go and see that thing, that arrow land, and then allow that point of contact to be, maybe that's your dreams, maybe that's a goal you have, maybe that's a relationship that you want. I don't know what else, maybe it's a new home. Whatever it is that you want to either release or have manifest, you can use that same visual to have that happen for yourself. So, so let's see. If people want to find you, how do you work? Do you do just one-on-one sessions? Do you do collective work? Do you have, groups? I mean, what do you do? How do you work?
Yeah, so I do a combination. I'm definitely a multi-passionate entrepreneur. So I have one-on-one sessions as far as like quantum healing and oracle card readings, as well as intuitive reading bundles for healers. And then I have coaching. So I do one-on-one, like long-term coaching containers, 3 to 6 months. And I have group containers as well. My Rising Phoenix is my signature program to help healers liberate themselves so they can step into their power. That's launching later on this summer, like late summer. You can get on the wait list now. And then I have several different programs, but I do have a program launching this summer, to help you alchemize your fears, limiting beliefs, imposter syndromes. There's a sound of freedom.
That's great.
That are holding you back. So the best way to figure out is take a peek at my website, ansherises.com, or just slide into my DMs, Instagram, XO_Kristen Jones. Say hi, let me know it resonated. And and I can definitely answer any questions.
Yay! Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. It was wonderful. I hope that we can have you back.
Yes, thank you so much.
And those of you who are listening to me every week, thank you so much for your dedication. You can go to brightbutterflynetwork.com to find me. You can also book an appointment with me if you want to find out more about what we do. Go to my website. There's a lot there to absorb, and it's always being updated. So don't be afraid to ask me questions. Contact me at pam@brightbutterflynetwork.com for more questions, more answers. We can do a session together to kind of open the door to what's next for you. And next week, we're going to have another special guest. I've got them all month. Yay. Thank you again for being here and for really opening the door for some folks that might not have been open to what was next for them. So thank you for tuning in. Know that your life is up to you, and we can't wait to connect in the next moment. Take care, guys. Love you lots. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Empower Me Show with Pam Bright on Transformation Talk Radio. Tune in to learn more about living a fully empowered life. Remember that your life is up to you, and you can choose the spiritual path you are on. There is spiritual energy and wisdom in everything and everyone around you. Listen carefully for what the universe is trying to tell you in every moment. You are already being guided along your journey. Call upon your spirit guides anytime you need help with anything. Know that you are safe in every moment, even if it seems that you are not. For more information about Pam Bright, visit brightbutterflyenterprises.com or email theempowermeshow@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening. We hope to see you next week.